we begin this morning with HealthLink Idaho, sponsored by Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. Water, it's essential for life. We all know that. And it's easy, though, to take for granted, that is, until it's gone or we're having problems with its quality, which also raises the question, do you really know where your water comes from? We're joined right now by Brigitte Grunberg, and she's here to tell us all about Groundwater Awareness Week. Great to have you here, Brigitte.
Great to be here.
Okay, so tell us about Groundwater Awareness Week. What is it, and why is it important that we're bringing awareness to this?
Yeah, so it's the opportunity to share with Idahoans the importance of groundwater to our health and the environment. It's actually the 25th anniversary of celebrating Groundwater Awareness Week.
Oh, really? Silver anniversary?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So it's something that we've been doing for a while, and there's a big reason that we are doing it, right? Is to make sure that people know where our water comes from, and also understanding the responsibility that we all have when it comes to protecting that groundwater, right?
Correct.
Because when it gets polluted, then, I mean, there are so many ramifications that comes from something like that. So how would our water get polluted in the first place?
Well, first I want to say that 95% of Idahoans get their groundwater, their drinking water from groundwater.
Okay.
And 30% of those individuals, it's private wells.
Okay.
So the important thing there is private wells are not regulated, and many people don't know that they need to test that water.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so when we're talking about private wells too, is this, are these residents that are typically in rural areas or a lot of the mountain communities, or do we even have that here in the Treasure Valley?
Yes, but also a lot in the Treasure Valley, kind of
really?
sporadically throughout the area. Even a lot of the new subdivisions on a lot more acreage have private wells.
No kidding. Okay, I never knew that. I think I just always assumed, especially with some of the new builds, that your water is connected to the city, but they actually use wells.
Yes.
Okay, so why is it important, though, that people get that tested?
Because there are contaminants, a lot you can't see, smell, or taste, that can make their way into your water, and the only way you know that is if you test.
And what are some of these contaminants, and what are some of the ramifications if people are consuming them?
Sure. So two that we recommend you test for annually would be total coliform.
Okay.
It's a indicator bacteria, so it kind of gives you an indication of what's going on your property. So do I have backflow prevention problems, or do I have leaks in my system? And then the other one we recommend is nitrates. So nitrates are naturally occurring, but they're also human caused. So overuse of fertilizers, septic systems are another cause of nitrate contamination. And then others that we recommend you have done 3 to 5 years would be fluoride. Some fluoride's good, but too much can cause problems with our teeth. Lead is typically not found in groundwater, but it is found in our pipes. A lot of times in older homes pre-1986, but sometimes the solders that were used, you can still find in some of the newer homes.
Oh, seriously? Okay,
Yeah.
so it leaches as the water goes
Yes.
through the pipes.
Well, the more acidic your water is too, the more it leaches.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And then arsenic. Arsenic is naturally occurring. We do have lots of pockets in Idaho of arsenic,
Really?
so it's good to test that one as well.
Okay, yeah, you're listing lots of names that people I think obviously know. That's not good to have in your water, like arsenic, right? Lead, we're all aware of that. So what do people do then to test their water to make sure that what they're consuming is okay?
So there's many labs, there's state and private labs that you can get your water tested. Like I said, we recommend you do that annually for total coliform and nitrates, and then every 3 to 5 years for the others. Once you test, if you have contaminants of concern at levels of concern, there's treatment. It's there's chemical treatments, there's non-chemical treatments, and on our website we have a bunch of information on those different types of treatments, including cost, who to call, how they're installed, and how to maintain them.
Great. And then two, I mean, just for the general public as well, for those who get groundwater, or use groundwater as our source. It's important, though, too, that we all take responsibility to making sure we're not polluting our waterways, right? Which I know that we talk about this quite a bit. I think it's pretty common, but it's always worth mentioning. So what should we keep in mind when it comes to protecting our water?
Good question. Not overusing water, not overusing pesticides and fertilizers. If you have fertilizer left over, don't dump that on, into a stream. Make sure you dispose of it properly. One people often don't think about is prescription medication.
Yes.
Oh, done, we'll dump it down the drain. Don't do that. There are ways to dispose of that properly. Making sure that if you are on a private well, that you're not storing chemicals around it, and the septic system is a good distance from that well, and also making sure that your well is properly maintained. So that is the well cap on. I know a lot of people, including myself, after we water the grass, we just dump the hose on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that is not good, because if it's sitting in water, it could have, if there's backflow into the system, you could be pulling that water into your system. So,
No way.
Yeah, so things that a lot of people don't think about, they want to be careful.
Absolutely. No, I certainly did not know that. Okay, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yes.
There's so much more people can learn. Where do they go to get that information?
On our website, so it's the environmental health page, Department of Health and Welfare. We have lots of information on well protection, and then also Department of Environmental Quality also has a really awesome page on groundwater.
Wonderful. Brigitte, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Greatly appreciated. I did not know that about the hose. Okay. Note to self, everyone stick around. A lot more to come right here on Idaho Today right after the break.